Bueno, bienvenido a todos, gracias por estar acá. Venimos de un día largo, le estaba explicando que la temperatura de Singapur de hoy no corresponde a nuestra ciudad, pero me dijo que está bien, que está contento, que extrañaba Los Ángeles. Yo voy a hablar en castellano, le haré todas las cosas, tenemos una traducción simultánea, así que vamos a estar charlando primero.
Yeah, this is the first time for me, so I'm loving this.
Así que ustedes van a escuchar todo en inglés. Aquellos que no entiendan inglés, hagan como yo, pongan cara que entienden. Ok. Supongo que todos conocen a Adam, no tengo que introducirlo mucho. Me asombra varias cosas de él, estuvimos charlando informalmente. Cuarta generación de una familia que se ha dedicado siempre a esto de innovar y ayudar a otras personas de que puedan realizar desde sus compañías, comenzarlas o incluso ponerse en compañías que están funcionando. La verdad que ser la cuarta generación, y casi va mi primer pregunta por ahí, es ¿qué tan fuerte es para vos llevar toda esa historia encima?
I'm really lucky to be a part of a family that supports others' dreams, right? My great-grandfather was the first venture capitalist in Silicon Valley. My grandfather founded the first institutional venture fund called Sutter Hill Ventures. My dad took venture capital global with DFJ. And then I was fortunate to be the first VC to ever focus on Bitcoin-related startups and deep tech. And so in fact, Buenos Aires has a big history for me. This is my first time here, but it has a big history for me because Sebastian Serrano, who's right over here, he was our first at Boost VC Bitcoin investment ever, which ended up really working well for us. And we're huge. I've been a fan of Sebastian for 12 years. 12? He corrected me. I said 10 earlier. So yeah, to answer your question, it's been really, I don't know about powerful, but we live with a bunch of incredible champions of human endeavor. Sorry, I'm hearing both sides right now, and it's yes, okay. And I think it was really important. I saw my dad having a blast investing in all these crazy ideas like Skype and Hotmail and Tesla, and the entrepreneur was the hero, and so I eventually followed suit. So it's been great. So my answer is, it was important.
¿Y crees que esto que venías contando, es decir, recibir este apoyo y este tipo de cosas, es casi un poco lo que vos después vas a hacer con un montón de gente, de apoyarla, escucharla y ver cómo funciona? ¿Crees que para ser emprendedor, antes de hablar en qué estás haciendo, necesitas ese tipo de cosas, tener esa empatía?
Yeah. So founders are superheroes because it's impossible to start a company. The universe doesn't want to change, and every entrepreneur is saying, I'm going to change it and make the world a better place. And so I think it's incredibly important as someone who supports entrepreneurs to have the empathy of and see that someone like my dad or my grandfather has been able to support all these other founders and empathize with their struggle to be able to be a great investor. Yes.
Cuando pensás en Boost, VC, ¿qué pensás, qué buscás en cada persona que te cuenta una idea como si fuera la mejor que hay, es su único shot, necesita de tu ayuda? ¿Vos qué buscás en esa persona, en ese primer approach cuando te presentan proyectos?
Yeah, so Boost VC, just so everyone knows, we invest pre-seed deep tech. So we write the first check into any startup that's starting out. We invest $500,000 checks, $50,000 checks. We just want to be the first partner that anyone has. What we look for is an incredibly independent thinker who is tackling an incredibly important problem. And they happen to be using the latest technology to do that. Deep tech to me just means we're not afraid of hardware. I think at one point crypto was deep tech. I think at one point aerospace was deep tech. But it's really about finding the soul of the people who are taking the largest risk and trying to solve the hardest problem. And so that's what I look for. I look for people who are just very grounded, and there are a lot of them in Buenos Aires who are very, very grounded in learning from experience and then realizing that they have the abilities to solve those problems. So that's what I just look for, great people solving important problems, like those two things.
Cuando uno intenta acercar las ideas que tienen, hay cosas que a lo mejor no resuelven grandes problemas, pero sí tienen cosas súper interesantes o visionarias que a lo mejor no estabas viendo. ¿Cómo elegir ese primer cheque de 500.000 o de lo que sea para dárselo? ¿Y cuánto tiempo lo seguís a ese primer capital semilla que estás dando?
So I love when I don't understand what someone's talking about. So that's like one of my favorite things. So if someone proposes a new concept, like Bitcoin, who here remembers the first time someone said Bitcoin to them? Mine was with Brian Armstrong from Coinbase. So it was unique because it was the founder of Coinbase. But he said at some point the world's going to be on one financial infrastructure. And it just, when you hear something that's new but grounded in truth, and it feels big, you want to support the people who are building there. Everyone I ever met in the Bitcoin ecosystem, to give a really side story, was always the most dynamic person I ever met. It wasn't that I was bought into Bitcoin. It was that I would bet on the Bitcoin people over any other industry for the first 3 years I was investing in startups. It was that those people were more dynamic. Now, the soul of that moves to different industries all the time. So I love not knowing. I love trying to wrap my head around these different crazy ideas and trying to explain them to, my wife or my kids or my friends. And those are, so that's what I would say. It's like, it's actually in some ways important that I am not the expert. I should not be the expert. I should not know more than the founder about what they're doing. And if I do, I should start that company, right? So my answer is, in the beginning, what I'm looking for are just great people solving important problems and trying to accept the insanity of it. And how long we support them is, when you partner, you're partnering forever, right? Like you meet for 20 minutes, 2 hours, a year, 5 years, and then you're partnered for 10. It's a 10-year journey where you want to be able to develop a great friendship. We are the first check, so financially we try to just get people off the ground and going. And that's a big part of what we are, and that's why we're integrated so strongly in the Silicon Valley, so that we can help companies find new partners. But we try to support forever. I mean, Sebastian, he's been going for 12 years. He doesn't hate me.
No. It's okay?
We good?
Okay.
I love him. So that's we love each other.
Okay, una relación especial.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Ya, ok.
that way.
Ok. Está bien cuando las cosas funcionan, cuando te traen una idea y la entendés, pero ¿qué pasa cuando la idea no la entendés y ves que hay algo, pero no la entendés, no la encontrás? ¿Pensás que perdiste una oportunidad? O sea, ¿cómo resolver eso? Porque todo el mundo que te encara es para de alguna forma que los ayudes en esta primera etapa. ¿Y qué pasa si no lo entendés? ¿Qué hace que te hace llevar a decir, yo igual acá puesto, o decir, no, dejo pasar el tren, no lo entendí, mala suerte, y pase lo que pase?
There's a great book called Pattern Breakers by Mike Maples. And he's a fantastic early stage investor for Floodgate. That's the venture fund. And his thesis was he was looking at all of his returns over the course of 15 to 20 years, and he realized 80% of the money that he returned were pivots. So they changed the business. So the question is really, really important. I'm a people person. My grandfather always says, if you don't like people, don't be in this business.
Yeah.
And so I try to pick people who have traits of obsession and traits of just curiosity and traits of like people want to follow them is a really important one of them. But no founder is the same. And that's what we spend our whole life trying to figure out and digest. And so what causes me to say yes, I love saying yes. So I might have a problem saying yes. It's a little bit of an addiction. But what causes me and forces me to say yes is when someone feels like they deserve the shot. Like they've spent years on this. They have, in their head even, that can be one of the things. They're like family kind of shuns them a little bit. Their friends think they're annoying because all they want to talk about is this thing. And understanding what risk the founder is taking and believing that that's a big enough risk for them, so I should take the risk on them, is a big part of it. One of my biggest problems is when founders haven't tried to go full-time. So if an entrepreneur is not full-time on their company, why should I take the chance? You haven't even taken the chance. And so that's one of the things that I look for that I don't like is I don't like it if they haven't taken the chance on themselves. There are arguments against that statement, for the record. eBay was one, but I'd argue broadly it's really important to me that I partner with people who are all in. They are starting something.
Es súper interesante lo que decís. Igual estoy preocupado porque yo le planteé hace un rato una charla, un negocio a tu padre cuando te tendría que haber presentado a vos, que decís sí más seguido. ¿Cómo no te conocí a vos primero?
Because I like
No,
saying
ok.
yes.
Ok. Cuando es sencillo en este momento, cuando ves a las personas que te presentan la idea y te piden que te invierten, pero después, ¿cómo podés corroborar que están rodeados de gente que lo van a llevar a un buen puerto? ¿Hasta dónde se involucran como fondos o fondos semillas, lo que quiera, para entender que este tipo tiene una buena idea, pero no tiene un montón de imbéciles alrededor?
Yeah.
Imbéciles.
Yeah.
Stupid. Okay. Stupid. You know.
Yeah, so
Because-
I might have a different approach to this. When someone tells me something, I believe them. Does that make sense? So like, if someone says that they're the best in the world at something, or whatever they're telling me, I will believe that thing that they are saying. And if they tell me that their team is the best in the world at whatever they're doing, I'm going to believe that. Normally, you have to have credibility to even say those words. You have to know who you are enough that you're willing to say, like, these are the best people, and these people are surrounding me, and I'm very thankful that these people are surrounding me. And there's a way that people who have earned it, they talk. And so I think that my way of going into every meeting thinking, okay, everything this person says is going to be true, is the best way for me to assess a company. And eventually they always tell me, for the record, it only takes one great founder for a company to work. One great founder.
Okay.
And so the rest of it is their job to find the surrounding people who fill in their gaps. No founder is great at everything. Or they need to work hard for the next step. So my answer is, just believe what people say. And it works pretty well. If you go in not skeptical, and someone's genuinely interesting and interested, you learn a lot about others. And I think that that's been something I learned from my dad, I learned from my grandfather. It's just, you take everything that they're saying, you believe it, and then you decide, am I the right partner for this person? And in that, sometimes I am not. And so sometimes my no is not because they're not going to succeed, they're not doing it for the right reasons necessarily. It's because I might not be interested enough in the topic. I've met incredible people. You could be a hot dog salesman and make $1 billion, but I might not be the right partner for the hot dog salesman. I'm really a great partner if your mom doesn't know what you do. Like, if you can't explain what you do to your mother or your dad or your sisters or your friends, I'm really great in that stage where I get to help you figure out how to articulate that. And that's fun for me. I love it. So that's what I would say.
Estamos viviendo un mundo muy especial en donde los líderes están siendo líderes que vienen de lados que no esperábamos. Nos está pasando en la región, está pasando en el mundo. Está empezando a haber un futuro comercial que pensábamos que no iba a pasar a nivel mundial. Y también estábamos viendo que la tecnología está teniendo grandes cambios como nunca pensábamos que iba a haber. Hace 3 años hablar de inteligencia artificial accesible para cualquier humano que tenga 36 grados de temperatura era una locura. En ese mundo, en donde parece inestable, con tecnologías que están avanzando casi por sobre la humanidad, ¿cómo vamos a poder empezar? ¿Qué se va a necesitar realmente para hacer productos, compañías, servicios que funcionen? ¿Cómo? Porque, perdón que sea tan largo esto, pero la verdad que estamos todos viviendo un mundo impensado hasta la pandemia, digamos, ¿no? ¿Cómo decidir en ese mundo?
How cool is the world, right? My car drives itself, so it drives me from home to work. I have a 3D printer next to my desk. 3D printers are literally magic. I decide I want to print anything in the world, and it just goes. It's the coolest thing ever. I have a robot dog in my house because we don't want a real one for my kids. Like, we live in just the most insanely innovative times. And whenever I think about the future, like what is to come, and you start to think, the bad things about all these technologies. Like, my daughter inhales a bunch of plastic because 3D printers are just running in my house 24 hours a day. My job every day is emails and phone calls from entrepreneurs who go and they say, this is the biggest problem I can spend the next 10 years on, and I'm going to solve it. That's my entire job. It's the coolest effing thing. I get to just think about how the world can be a better place because all I do is talk to people who are literally just trying to make it a better place every single day. It's incredible. And so when I try to think of the answers I don't have, like there are things we don't know about the future. There are things if it's politicians making decisions, and founders are the ones who get around it. Like founders are the ones who build great services for the end user despite all the things in the world. That's what's great. And so I get to spend all my time with heroes who are going to solve all those problems. And one of the great parts about it are, when you start in a very early network of people, whether it's 3D printing or Bitcoin or aerospace, and you help them really, really, really early, that network ends up becoming the most powerful network. You end up learning even more about every industry because they're the best in nuclear energy or the best in teleportation. So I think some people have sleepless nights over what they cannot control, and I sleep really well.
¿Está bien? Sí, yo creo que también dormiría tranquilo si fuera vos. 3 kids, electronic dog.
Okay, I sleep well.
Perfect life.
I sleep well despite the 3 kids who are waking me up.
Without the dog. Okay. Para terminar, Adam, te agradezco mucho lo claro que has sido. ¿Por qué estás en Argentina? ¿Qué estás haciendo en Latinoamérica? Si lo puedes decir en un par de palabras. ¿Qué está buscando esta gente? Una vez que digas eso, te va a perseguir a donde vayas.
Oh, that's great. One is, it's been 25 years since I got to go on a business trip with my dad, who I think is talking after me. And so when he said, do you want to go to South America? And I was like, yes, Sebastian's been telling me I need to come to South America for like 12 years. I jumped at it and I said, yes, definitely. Secondly, I've been investing globally since I began investing. Sebastian was probably my 8th investment ever, and I've done 550 investments at this point. And so it's important for me to know what the culture of startups are in each area of the world, to understand what's driving the free market and what companies are driving the system forward. And so I want to invest here, so I guess I should just say that. I want to support Draper Cygnus because they've been such an amazing partner to me. And I love those guys. And I want to learn. I just want to learn. I love learning. So, tell me something new about how the world works and teach me. And I just get to hang out with my dad for 8 days. It's pretty, it's pretty awesome.
Adam Draper, hagan la cola, síganlo. Muchas gracias, Adam. Un gusto haber estado con nosotros.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.